Yeah, I grew up at LA Yacht Club, and so that was kind of the home of the Cal 40. And when I was a runny-nosed kid, the George Griffith and Bill Lapworth and Salisbury and those guys were the heroes. And the Cal 40 was introduced during that period, and it just revolutionized yacht racing. And at that time, growing up, ocean racing, the Cal 40 was the hot rod boat, and all the best sailors sailed on them. The Congressional Cup was held in Cal 40s. And so I had the good fortune to be able to crew on boats like Persephone for George Griffith and others. And there's still today a very solid group of very well-sailed Cal 40s sailing out of the LA Yacht Club. And then through that period, then in college, I continued to race occasionally on Cal 40s, but I would also augment my college funds by bringing boats back from Hawaii. And several times I would deliver a Cal 40 back. And during those trips back, I developed a real respect for the boat. It's just a very well-mannered offshore boat. And decided that someday I'd own one, just because it was a nice size boat and it was just delightful to sail. And so then in 1988, Sally and I bought Illusion, which was a Cal 40 number 57, originally owned by Bus Mausbacher and Vince Montesano. So it had a long racing history in its early days. 79 was a great one, because that was the year we were first to finish, and that was on Drifter. The ones you win, are first to finish are some of the most fun, but 79 was a great one for me, because at that, I was just in the process of earning a reputation as a navigator, and being first to finish on the 79 Transpac was kind of a breakthrough for me that enabled me to get good rides, after that, like in 83 on Charlie and then beyond. So that was a lot of fun. And then 2003 with Skip Allen and John Andron and Sally was a lot of fun, because it was it was a small crew and an old boat, and we led the race on corrected time for 12 days. And then at the end of the day, we won our class, we won our day, and then we were third in fleet. We were 2 TP52s beat us, one by I think 2 hours and one by 6 minutes. But to have a 40-year-old boat with a crew of 4 do so well on the Transpac was just fabulous. Al Martin's Sumatra, a Lapworth 50. And I navigated for Al in a number of Whitney Series races, the Sand Neck race, the Tri-Island race, the races out of Los Angeles around the Channel Islands. I navigated in a Mazatlan race, navigated in the Transpac. But I first started navigating, I think it was even before high school, probably junior high school and high school. And I just developed an interest in navigation. And navigation in those days, it wasn't technical, it was more of the art of navigation. And you would use the conventional dead reckoning and celestial techniques. And it really was more the art and the lore of it. And I'm not quite sure why I developed an interest in it. I think it may have been because my father was a navigator and my godfather was a B-17 navigator. And so to talk to them about it and hear about it, I just started reading about it, developed an interest. And then it was a very useful skill to have at the time in ocean racing, because being a young kid who could do the foredeck, steer, and also navigate made one attractive, and it made it easier to get rides, especially on light displacement boats, because the crew could carry one fewer crew if they could have somebody who could steer, do the foredeck, and navigate instead of